So, one thing I want to talk about.
Jethro, are you also an INTP? We have so many INTPs here.
Oh, Derek talking with other people.
ERBJ. I like that type. That's a great type to be.
He's a what type is he? Let me see what it said. Oh,
Derek, we
shoot.
can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me because I have no. ERBJ,
Emerging,
huh?
emerging.
What's ERBJ stand for?
That's
I'll be.
Jethro's type.
I see.
Oh.
Is it an actual?
Okay,
Oh
now I'm guest Derek.
God.
Hello, everybody. My name is Guest Eric.
EJ,
I am the guest of Talking with Famous People. I'm here with host Unify, famous person Eric, famous person and stalwart TWFP participant Hamadou Diallo, INFP listener, famous person JC, famous person Jethro Q Walrus Titty, and famous person Leah, and famous person Lorenz, and famous question Nande. That's a big room. Okay, so
Eric,
yes,
Eric, I have something to tell you. My
tell
name
me.
is actually pronounced Nandi.
Oh, it's not Nande. It's
No.
Nandi. Oh, is that your actual name? I assumed it was sort of your handle. You were saying Y is your name, in Japanese.
Mm,
Nandi, huh? That's your actual name. Oh, okay.
yes.
When you told me it meant Y in Japanese, I thought that meant that it was like
Well, I mean
Jeff.
that's one of the translations.
Hmm. INFP listener, for example, that's probably not INFP listener's actual name. I'm guessing. Okay, so we were about to talk about. Oh, JC, you get to change types all you want. Absolutely. You want to be an ENTP like me? It's fun.
I'm now an ERBJ.
Oh, you're an ERBJ too? Have we determined what ERBJ sounds like?
Yes.
What are their type? What are their type qualities? ERBJ. Somewhere in their name is
Did you click on the link?
bodily part, or what?
Urban Dictionary says ERBJs are intelligent yet have emotions. They like spending time alone or with people. They are known for sometimes being punctual, but are also sometimes procrastinators.
All right.
Often
Basically
ERBJs
everything.
are
So
technology.
ERBJ is the type you tell
Sometimes
people when you reject the typing system, right? You go, oh yeah, I'm an ERBJ. You're saying, I shit on your cognitive function model, sir. Let me place it beneath my buttocks that I may shit upon it. Um,
possible careers include circus personnel, hotel managers, used car salesmen, business executives, children's book writers, and fire alarm technicians.
okay, well, I mean, ERBJ sounds like a very versatile type.
Yeah, this ERBJ. I think ERBJs.
Jethro Q Walrus City, that's like a 12-year program, right? Fire alarm technician isn't something you just become overnight. There's a lot of licenses, a lot of certification. You need to execute some protocols. Lots of shit you got to do. I think you should go with your name and become a professional walrus titty inspector. It's kind of like marine biologist, but more specialized. Okay, so I am guessing that in fact, uh, Jethro Q Walrus City is almost certainly an ENTP, actually, because like
What?
like the recently discovered uh, Poo Poo McPee 11th degree black belt, only ENTPs name themselves shit like that. My theory. Jethro Q, Walrus Titty. Do you want to give us actual feedback on your type, or you just want to play games? You want to be an ENTP? You want to tell us about your type, or you want to just display it? Yeah, life is a game. And the biggest problem we face, Jethro Q, Walrus Titty, is who the fuck's keeping score? I want a formal poster on the wall downtown on City Hall that says, Eric's totally winning. Otherwise, what's the point of winning? Well, a winner is you. Yeah, I think so too. A winner is you would be a good title to put above the paper that I'm talking about. INTP INFJ relationship is a good thing or a bad thing. That's an interesting one. I don't know anybody. Oh well, actually, I do know. I've got my best friend INFJ and my other longtime good friend INTP, and we were all three friends together for a while. We were all three really tight for a while, but what ended up happening is the INFJ's woman, who I don't know what she is, we were making that crazy noise. Where's that crazy noise coming from? Ah, it's from Hamadou. Okay, so anyway, the woman of the INFJ, and I don't know what type she is. She wants to constantly make emotional connections with individuals. If you try talking about an idea, even though she's extremely smart, she's unable to make progress with idea talk. She just wants to commiserate with you and feel like, let's have a feel back party or whatever. She's very damaged, and alcoholic. Who jokes a lot? INFJs or INTPs or what? INFJs do joke a lot, and INFJ. I mean, the INFJ and we can sit around and make jokes for long periods of time and make each other laugh. Corey's funny as hell and brilliant as hell, and deserves better than the massive weight that is yoked around him in terms of his wife. Well, Eric, you're INFJ, and it says maybe it's different with INFJ males. Well, you're an INFJ male, right? Well, this is the thing about INFJs. They're desperately afraid that if they were to see what is really going on, that you'd find it not important, doesn't matter, insignificant. That's what they're desperately concerned about, I think. But that causes them to make the wise choice to use silence. They use silence well. Just as they do in music, right? There are sometimes when there's space that it suggests you should put words there maybe, but you should not put words there. You should not put a melody thing there, right? And that's what INFJs are really good at. They know when to utilize the null set as the best tool for that circumstance. And for example, in a song that I have up that I've got several versions of actually called Sexual Solvency, and it goes, Every life lived reaches a time when the road splits in two. And it's got this. Originally, I had in there, "What you gonna do?" Another vocal thing, but it needs the silence, right? It needs to not have anything there. I had to learn that from the INFJ. I instinctually don't understand that at all, but I've learned it a lot and I've worked at it a lot, so I'm good at it now. John Cage should be nobody's anthem. Isn't he just one of those people who is really self-indulgent and writes really long songs that are filled with a bunch of not respectful, tangential miscreants? Let me see, John Cage. Oh yeah, he's terrible. Terrible, terrible. That's an example of extroverted intuition gone completely awry. He said, I know, I'm going to go where truth is most pure, and I'm going to do stuff in that domain that is as far from true and pure as imaginable, conceivable. Well, okay, it might be amusing for the composer to stretch the limits. It's not amusing for a listener, right? It's not amusing to me to listen to your constructed, abstract, intellectualized, and fundamentally aesthetically bad composition because you like to challenge people's abstract rules about it. Music isn't like that. Music doesn't work like that. Well, okay, fine, but that's the point, is it's not interesting. It's not musically interesting, it's not lyrically interesting, and the songs are super long. Prog rock is the domain of NE, the worst shit ever invented. Hit singles is the work of NI. Free jazz is NE. Again, Get Lucky by Daft Punk is NI. Big difference. I don't have NI. I don't have shit with NI. I agree. If I'm gonna consume free jazz, Jethro, I'm gonna consume free jazz rather than pay free jazz. I have tamed barely NI, which is to say, I've learned that if I leave food out for it and then don't look to see if it comes eats it, it comes around and eats the food and goes away when I haven't noticed, and leaves me something good in return. It poops out a little prize, you know. I don't get how I use it, but I've learned to willfully not attend to it in a way that allows it to occur. But I'm certainly no expert in NI at all. And there's lots of times when if I need it, I'm fucked. If I need it right now, I'm fucked. There's no way I can. It comes on its own when it feels like it. My NI is adorable. It's darling. My NI's name is Trisha. She's 7 years old. She's got pigtails. And she likes going to Disneyland. I've never actually seen her, but I've deduced her existence. She leaves me little notes saying, "Thanks for the tickets to Disneyland, Trisha." You think you would be, oh yeah, well, so it's not Nande, it's Nandi? Nandi. NI is the holy function. You know, remember, the patron saint of NI the Greek philosopher who captured its whole and crystallized truths, Heraclitus. Yes, the INTJ can claim amongst its populace Heraclitus, the most sexually named of all the Greek philosophers. Congratulations, homie. Heraclitus, yes, Heraclitus. Clitus. And if you look him up, you'll discover that he's a Greek philosopher who did a lot of what Megabro referred to as hold-ons. That is to say, a notion of truths that can be neither parsed nor built upon. Be organized. There's no pressure associated with, I am organizer. You're just an extra organizer. All you're asking me to do is remove the title of organizer from me. Okay, fine. How about you get to be presenter then? Now you're a presenter. Does that make you feel better? Oh no! Now I'm a presenter and an organizer. I'm gonna explode. There's no responsibilities associated with a Unify. Unless I had, like, the one responsibility that I needed you to do was to allow the room to continue to persist while I left and came back real quick because I had that issue. That's the only thing that the organizer position was assigned for. Because if there's no organizer, then if I leave, I have to end the whole meeting. Okay, so we've been talking about NI, we've been talking about Heraclitus, we've been talking about organization, we've been talking about free jazz, we've been talking about bad any art, which is anything that's overly complicated and unnecessarily different at the expense of intuitive hookiness for music, but hookiness in whatever medium. And one of the first jobs of the ENTP is to get over their own cleverness in that regard and to get accustomed to killing their own babies. Because we generate a lot of complicated stuff, and we have to learn to accept that to make the time object better, we have to kill parts of it that we like. Why are NTJs always presented as villains in stories? They're either presented as villains or savants. And the savant thing I get. They're presented as savants because FE types feel a warmth when they see depicted FE types who have good awareness about FE stuff shaking their heads in bemused approval at the NTJ. He's brilliant, but he is off the wall when it comes to social stuff. If you have that fucking scene in like a movie or a TV show, all the FE types are like, that's so wonderful. They love him even though he's handicapped like that. Because, FE types, they think that that's what actually matters and everybody else is crazy. We all tend to think what we think is most important is actually matter, but NTs, unlike F types, and especially SF types, NTs at least are able to and want to do, and typically often do, the metacognition necessary to undermine their own wrongness. Sasuke is, I'd call Sasuke INTP. INTJ is like fucking Orochimaru. Orochimaru is INTJ. And Naruto's like ESFP, I think. You think Orochimaru's ENTP? Orochimaru's not an ENTP. Orochimaru is like an INTJ. And then you've got, okay, so who's the ENTP in that show? Jiraiya. Jiraiya is the ENTP in that show. He's always writing his little books about sexy ladies, but he's always showing good restraint about them. He's not actually a player. Korra, I don't know who Korra is. I've never heard that name before. Korra. You think Sasuke's an ISFP? Oh, how about this INFP because he's easily offended and he's always got his feelings hurt about shit. INFP maybe. What's Sakura-chan? Sakura-chan is ISFJ, maybe ESF. Oh, you said ESFJ. I think Sakura's actually introverted, despite the fact that she's more extroverted in display. But you could be right. Maybe ESFJ. And what about? Okay, well, like the bug guy. The bug guy. I forget what his name is. The guy who's got the little bugs come out of his sleeves. He's INTJ probably, or INTP. The S characters are like Daedra. He's like ESFP. Kakashi. I think Kakashi's INFJ. I think Kakashi's INFJ. Because what's really driving him is his emotional relationship with Rin and Obito from when they were children, right? And he's never gotten over the fact that he had to kill Rin and that he's lost Obito. But he's got that INFJ obsession with getting Obito back. He never gives up on Obito, even though Obito is working for Madara. So, Nande, are you? I don't know what you're referring to. I'm confused. Lots of different types can have that obsession with saving people or like preserving relationships beyond the length of their relationship. Itachi is maybe Itachi that feels INFJ for sure. Itachi feels more INFJ to me than does than Kakashi. Because Itachi, he had to have that introverted intuition certainty in order to kill his entire clan. And yet also still maintain his humanity and still fundamentally want what's best for his little brother, the only one he couldn't kill. No, Itachi's too well because of the way that he ultimately did it all for Sasuke. He did everything for Sasuke ultimately. He did it for another person. That's why I'm thinking INFJ. Now what about Tsunade? Tsunade's Tsunade's ENTJ, I think. But she's a gambler and Tsunade's probably ENTP or ESTP. ESTJ? Maybe ESTJ. Yeah, that's quite possible. But except for the gambling, no. ESTJ is the model citizen. And Tsunade, she drinks and she gambles. And she's got mystical, superstitious beliefs. So I'm thinking ESFP or ESTP, maybe, or I don't know. Who drinks a lot? Which types drink the most? Who drinks the most? INTPs don't drink the most. SJ? I mean, ENTPs are famously addicts, and ENFPs are famously addicts. But what other types? Well, ESTPs tend to get into that because they're cool. They're cool. INFJs are mysterious inherently. The Mona Lisa is an INFJ. You can tell by her facial expression. I mean, people like the magic types. People like the magic. In general, you're going to have not a whole lot of like ISTJs in shows, because if they're in there, they're going to be supporting characters because they're not really necessarily doing anything interesting. They're just sort of executing their mechanics. Too stale? Who's too stale? Oh, too many INFJs is too stale? Well, I only watch one anime show, so I don't know what it's like in anime across the board. I would say that there's no character in Naruto that really screams to me ENTP or that I super identify with. I don't know if there are any obvious ENTPs in Naruto. And it's hard to tell among Japanese characters because the Japanese are so obsessed with playing it cool. Yeah, Madara's an ENTJ for sure. That explains why, rather than deal with the harsh realities of his life and his death that he should have instead of refusing to stay dead, that he's absolutely obsessed with making right the harm done to his fourth slot FI. ENTJs are nice, actually. You'd be surprised. They're just bad at behaving like nice people. They don't get social stuff very well. Well, a Kunkel has a soul. I checked. It's green. They're just too. Well, they're very achievement oriented. ENTP is as well, but it's a problem area for us. INFJ gone evil. Evil INFJs. Examples in fiction, TV, anime, whatever, of INFJs gone evil. I would imagine that an INFJ gone evil would be somebody who is a cult leader. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Unify is INFJ has the ability to be absolutely convinced and wrong concurrently that NTP types don't have. We don't have that ability because we're hesitant to be convinced about anything at all. We don't like to commit to positions. But the INFJ, it's their only way of knowing truth, is holistically. Hitler could have been. I don't know if Hitler was an INFJ or not. Let's Google it. Somebody else Google it because it makes my computer super slow when I'm recording like this. That would make sense. The thing is, it's hard to tell when you're a speed addict. He was a speed addict. Well, what other types might Hitler have been? He was definitely persuasive. He had good public speaking skills, but probably wasn't an extrovert, almost for sure. And so, what type does best extroverted, like big public speaking that you go, well, he's obviously an extrovert. He's killing this public speech. There are two types that can do that, INTP and INFJ. INTP is going to do it, though, in ways that don't impassion the masses like that. They're going to do it in a debate speech or something like that. They're not interested in impassioning the masses because they don't really care about the other people's emotions. But INFJ can kill that speech on the FE level, where you really get people to actually move. No matter how right you are, you're not going to get people to move unless you prod them in their feelings. I have heard that one. MLKJ was a INFJ. He was also a serial cheater. MLKJ. He cheated on his woman. Gandhi, I don't know if he cheated or not. Gandhi is that would make sense. Jesus, or are you talking about Jesus, my gardener? Oh, Christian Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I'm joking. It would make sense that Jesus would be an INFJ. I am confident about MLKJ. MLK with an ENFJ? Well, that's possible too. INFJ or ENFJ. For Shizo, you can tell by the way that his argumentation is always people focused. It's a sure sign of an F. Founding fathers, well, Jefferson was INTP. Washington was probably like an ESTJ or something, or maybe not, because remember Washington's the one who said I only want to serve one term, and then I think he got talked into a second term, but he wasn't ego driven, Washington, at all. Yeah, well, the NFJs are prone to craziness. They're prone to, but ENFJs are more crazy than INFJs. Abraham's crazy. I mean, Abraham has all kinds of freaking crazy notions that he gets in his head and becomes, has this whirlwind of truth around, but there's nothing there. And then he comes to me and I've got this great idea. Abraham, no, dude, he's got an ENTP's sort of inability to recognize when big picture that makes no sense to do that right now. He's got that handicap, an inability to look at the big picture. But unlike the ENTP, he needs me to point it out to him, right? He can't figure it out. He can't figure out all the implications himself because he's got TI in the fourth fucking slot. That's hard. But look, there's some sort of objective understanding of things when you've got somebody who's believing strongly and telling you, I'm really convinced of this and it's really, really important to me one day, and then a couple days later realize, oh, I got into one of those passion cycles. INFJs are much less crazy, substantially less crazy. They have that one fatal flaw, and other than that, they're fucking right on the money about everything most of the time. Hold on 1 second. I forgot I got food going on. It's probably a smoking fire inside right now. nick of time. Well, since you guys are not conversing in my absence, Abraham is not taking serious sex because he's young. That's the other thing, is he's young. Each type has to figure out their blind spots over the course of years and understand which mistakes they keep making over and over again and adjust to them. It takes a while for that to develop, especially if you're not doing it all with TI. And he doesn't have FI in his conscious slot, so he's relying on NI to guide him. But, he'll understand better as he gets older. Everyone grows. Everyone learns from mistakes and stuff like that. Any other thought on this? This is my food. It's beans and a sausage that I had in the freezer, and only the bottom of it burned. I was able to scrape the top part off, and it's fine. It's got refried beans. Well, it's like as soon as I changed my race, my hunger for beans went up about 40%. I don't know. Too hot. All right. Thanks for watching Talking with Famous People. I've been your host Eric, with a cast of characters here, including all these people. And don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.